Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. About 30 years ago, I was given a gift that hangs over the mantel in my home. It's a framed page from an original King James version of the Bible from 1611. What happened was that there was a Bible of this kind that had some damage to it. So they took the pages that were salvageable and sold them off a page at a time. The frame has glass on the back, so you can see that side of the page too. And this page actually comes from a rare he-she Bible. This very early edition had an error in the book of Ruth that put the word he where the word she belonged. It was quickly corrected, and only a small number of these Bibles were printed. My page comes from one of those. It's a gift I treasure. We are drawing to the end of our 3-week focus on the story of the Bible, and this week we have focused on translation issues and a little background on the history of the English Bible. Yesterday, we explored the earliest Bibles in English, and today our primary focus will be on the Bible many of us grew up with, the King James Version. But first, let me remind you that under King Henry VIII, there was a break with the Roman Catholic Church, and that was when the Anglican Church became established in England. However, when Queen Mary came to power, she brought the Roman Catholic Church back, and some of the Protestants fled to Switzerland and settled in Geneva. There, they did a sharp translation, which was highly critical of Roman Catholicism in some of the essays they included, but they actually did a very good job in scholarship for the time in their translation. Meanwhile, at the same time, the Roman Catholic Church also produced an English Bible. The real significant moment came when King James I came to power in England in 1605. As things turned out, it was politically expedient at that time for a new translation of the Bible that was accurate. It was decided that this Bible would present just the biblical text and have no notes in the margin. James gathered about 50 scholars and put them into 6 groups. The text was divided up by group, and every member of each group worked on the passage they were assigned. They were urged to revise current Bibles in accord with the Greek and Hebrew. They made extensive use of Tyndale's earlier Bible and of the Geneva Bible. Then, when everyone in a group finished, they came together and agreed on a common translation between them. Then 2 from each group met and reviewed the whole Bible that had been accumulated. This Bible was the most accurate Bible of the times, even though they had poor text to work from, and they had limited knowledge of Hebrew, and they knew only classical Greek, but not the Greek of the New Testament. The thing was, King James challenged them to excellent scholarship in their translation, but also added that when they finished their work, the Bible that resulted should read well. In other words, they were not only to be accurate, but they were to make it sound beautiful too. And they did it. Many of us know passages of the Bible like the 23rd Psalm from the King James Version, and we keep on remembering it because it sounds so good. Language changes over time, so the King James Version isn't as easy for us to understand nowadays, but it still sounds beautiful. A word to describe it might be mellifluous, a word that sounds as beautiful as what it means. There have been 2 great influences on the English language. One is Shakespeare, and the other is the King James Version of the Bible. Here are some phrases that were introduced into the English language from the King James Version. Forbidden fruit. Does not live by bread alone. Go the way of all flesh. At their wits' end. Skin of their teeth. Scapegoat. Writing on the wall. Pride goeth before a fall. Fly in the ointment. Can't take it with you. Nothing new under the sun. Leopard can't change its spots. Salt of the earth. Turn the other cheek. Blind leading the blind. Golden rule. Hide your light under a bushel. See through a glass darkly. Since 1611, when the King James Version was first published, there have been many Bibles in English. What you need to know was that in the 1940s, the Revised Standard Version revisited the King James Version, checked through their scholarship, and published a new Bible firmly based on the old that made the Bible easier to understand in more modern language. Again, in the 1980s, all that work was done again to create an update for a new Bible called the New Revised Standard Version. And this is the version most Lutheran churches read in worship and is ideal for Bible study. So the Bible we use goes back in a direct line to the work done in 1611 on the King James Version. It's a strong and good heritage. The thing is, as you probably know, there are many other translations out there now, and you may be wondering what the right Bible is for you to use. That will be our topic for tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.